Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a Sunday Stuff and Things, and we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and Working, including a very interesting blend, Sutliff Maple Shadows 2. We'll be talking about that a little bit. We're going to talk about expanding your mind a little bit, and the YouTube algorithm, content that you find on my channel and on other channels on YouTube, some interesting things there. And then we have some more very interesting packages right here that I'm going to be checking out and showing you when I open these up. I know what's in them, but I'm still excited to see. And then of course we will have your questions, comments, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. All right, we're kind of in a different setup here. I had to go out to record the video about this Sutliff Maple Shadows 2, and so I didn't have all my camera stuff set up in the normal place in the apartment, so we have this kind of weird angle. You guys are looking down on me right now. That's fine. But what are the upcoming videos that we're going to be seeing on Stuff and Things and on Working? Well, the video, I don't have it with me right now, but the video for this week will be the mini review, it's a review, on Sutliff Silver Quarter 175th Anniversary. Very interesting blend. You should definitely check that review out. It'll be posting this Wednesday, another one of those sort of limited blends that we've been talking about. Then, the week after that, we're going to be taking a look at this, the Woodsy Balms Leather. Okay, this is a very long title here. Woodsy Balms Leather Mini Composition Journal Notebook Cover. And I'm comparing this to my passport size Midori Traveler's Notebook, or just Traveler's Company notebook. So this is an interesting product. It was sent to me by Brad Lee, not Bradley, but Brad Lee, who has an Etsy shop, Woodsy Balms Leather. So be sure to check this review out soon. I know a lot of you are fans of the Midori content or notebook content. Then, the week after that, we're going to be talking about this. Sutliff Maple Shadows 2. Now this is a blend that has dark-fired Kentucky, some Cavendish, and then a maple flavoring, a maple topping. Now you know, if you watch any of my pipe content, that I don't usually like any blend that has added flavoring. This one is part of the I'm not going to like this series, but you may be shocked to discover my opinion of this blend. I was shocked. I was not expecting. I don't want to give it up, but I think you already kind of know what I'm implying here. This one surprised me. This one, I remember when I got this and I opened up the box and had this 8-ounce tin of a blend that is a light aromatic, I was kind of, oh good, 8 ounces of a blend I'm probably not going to like. Let me just say now, I'm glad I have 8 ounces of this. Pretty crazy. And then on Working, we have Working episode 38. We are pouring some stem walls, doing all sorts of fun concrete stuff. Please check out the Working channel if you haven't yet. Everyone who watches it says they really like it, but just not many of you are watching it. I know you are watching this content because I can see your views, so all you gotta do is go down to that description box below this video and hit the link to Working, subscribe, and start watching that content. It really is good, so check it out. Lots of good stuff. I have many more products and I'm gonna be showing you some cool things on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Expand your mind. So, last week, a video posted, a new series maybe called Listening Party, wherein I spoke about Blondie's album Parallel Lines from 1978. I discussed this in the couple weeks leading up to posting that video, not knowing whether or not it would even be allowed to be shown on YouTube. Obviously, there are always copyright issues when you are playing songs from artists. I still don't really understand how all of this works because I do see people posting content like this. Some of them seem to be able to monetize the content. I don't know. Suffice to say, with my video, it was it's not a copyright strike, so it's not a strike against my channel, but all of the stuff was claimed as copyright, which is fair enough. I don't own those songs. But you could argue that it is fair use because I am stopping the songs, I'm discussing the songs, I'm adding something to the discussion about the songs. Fair use never seems to work on YouTube. I don't know why. I disputed all of the copyright claims and said this is fair use and gave my reasons why. Those claims, it was all rejected. That argument was not accepted. So none of the video is not monetized. It is blocked in some countries, but it was allowed to be shown in most of the main places where people watch my content, the US, the UK. I think it was only blocked in some like formerly Eastern Bloc countries. Don't know why that is exactly. So I thought, good. The video at least can be seen by my subscribers, and even if I can't monetize it, it's not the end of the world. I can't monetize a lot of the stuff that I put on the channel, which is why your support on Patreon is so important. And I figured if people like it, if enough people watch it and I get a good response, then I will maybe do another or several more of these episodes, make it a series, because there are a lot of albums that I'd really like to talk about, a lot of artists who have really influenced my opinion of what good rock/pop, just popular music is. I guess it's not popular music anymore, but the stuff that I like. So the video posted, and the people who watched it did seem to really like it. So I'll be reading some feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings at the end of the episode. And a lot of people really loved it, but very few of you watched it. Now, I'm not complaining. I don't want to browbeat you into watching the content that I post, but I just want to challenge you. So, years ago, when I started on YouTube, it was a more open platform. Now, obviously, all sorts of things have come down as far as censorship and advertising and all sorts of different things on YouTube. Things have changed a lot. But I think the main thing that has changed is how the YouTube algorithm works. Back when I first started posting videos on YouTube, the channel was very eclectic from the very beginning. I was posting on all sorts of different subjects. And each one of those videos seemed to find the audience that would be interested in those videos. But as the years progressed, things slowly changed, and I started noticing that if I posted videos on things that weren't pipe related, they started getting fewer and fewer views, for the most part. There's still some things like videos that I have posted on this watch. If I really wanted to get a lot of views, I would just post things about watches all the time, because I got, I don't know, like 100,000 views, maybe, something like that, like tens of thousands of views on the review I did of this watch. But things like that will occasionally find an audience. But for the most part, if I post something that isn't pipe related, it gets less than a quarter of the views that most of my videos would get. Now you might think, oh, that's because my audience just isn't interested in anything but pipes, but I know that's not really true. What I think is happening with the YouTube algorithm is that I'm going to be talking about this as though it's like a human being or somebody making these decisions, but I think this is all just automated. When the majority of the viewers of your channel are mostly watching videos about a certain subject, I think YouTube just automatically doesn't put things in front of them that aren't about that subject. I'll notice this. If I watch a video, what did I watch the other day? I watched something about a cooler. Like I was looking for a lunch cooler because my old one was starting to disintegrate. So I watched some videos, reviews of those coolers, of different coolers, different brands. And now everything in my feed is about coolers. Everything. So YouTube's like, oh, he likes this, does he? Shove it in his face. That's all we're going to show him. And so the discoverability of things on YouTube is not the way it used to be. I think they used to put more eclectic things in front of their viewers, but now it is solely about what is this person into? We are only going to show that person this thing. And then it becomes this force feedback loop where if the only thing that gets shown to them on YouTube is about that subject, then they're mostly only going to watch videos about that subject. And then YouTube is just going to keep showing you more and more videos about that subject. It's really insidious. It's really annoying. It's treating us as though we are animals, people who don't have free will. Now, you can change this obviously by seeking things out specifically, but it still is kind of hard to fight the algorithm. So what I'm challenging you to do is to free yourself from the YouTube overlords who only want you to watch things about the thing that you think or that they think you want to watch. So I post a video about, I guess, pop music or just popular music from the 70s, Blondie listening party, and YouTube doesn't show it to you. But you are subscribed to my channel. You can go to my channel and you can find the videos that I post. And I know that you are not just interested in pipes. I know that for a fact, because that would be pretty sad if that was the only thing that held your interest, if that was the only hobby you had, and the only kind of content you wanted to watch on YouTube. So free your mind, expand your mind, and seek out the other videos on my channel. Now, you could say this is just completely selfish, me wanting you to watch this content, but it's not monetized. I don't get any money if you watch that Blondie video, but I want people to see it and I want to make more of it. I think it would be fun to make more content like that. But if it's kind of like with Stuff and Things Plays, if I'm only getting a couple hundred views on a video, it really makes it not worth my while to keep doing that. Even if I don't make any money, which I won't on videos about music, it's still, you need that feedback. You need people actually watching the content in order for you to keep making the content. So there you go. Expand your mind. Fight the power. All right, but now we gotta hurry up because we have some things to show you here. First of all, well, let's do this one first. This is a package from one of my Patreon supporters, our good friend, Ryan. Now, I have a knife here somewhere. Ryan is a Patreon supporter, and it's interesting because, yeah, his Instagram has a different last name than how I know him, so I don't know which one I should say. I will give his Instagram handle, obviously, but maybe not the other handle. But you've heard me read his name out on Patreon a million times, Ryan McFadin. He is a Maniac tier. He is a huge supporter of this channel and an amazing guy. I've actually had the chance to FaceTime with him. Great guy. He's into music and he's into making music. And he recently did something very cool, and I'm going to show it to you now. He was generous enough to send me along evidence of the coolness that he has been engaging in. He has had a record pressed of his music, and I think that's awesome. Obviously, vinyl has experienced a resurgence lately. A lot of people are listening to records, and he has made one. I cannot even imagine how much money that costs if you're not making, a huge volume of albums. Inside this box, there is some packaging material, and we have an album. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, let me put this aside. Ryan, thank you so much for sending me this. This is very cool. So, okay, yeah, he says it here too. Ryan O'Connell. And it is called On the Clock. So we've got a graphic of a skateboard with a clock on there. I just love the size of the album artwork on a vinyl record. It's just really cool. And we have a little note here. Hi, Bradley. Thanks again for checking out the tunes. I hope you've been doing well. You'll have to let me know what you think now that you've heard the full thing. I really appreciate it. I can't read that last part. I really appreciate it, man, I think. Ryan. So we've got A, Senseless, Transmission, Easy, B-side, Snarl, Dog, and Trip. Vocals, guitar, bass, drums, keys, production, Ryan O'Connell. Metering, Jesse Mangum. Visuals, Dong Pong. And the Instagram handle at Ryan_O'Connell_music. I will put it either a graphic across the screen or I'll put it in the description. There is the rear of the album cover. Excellent photography. I know Ryan does some photography as well, so maybe he did that. Actually, he says, though, that the visuals were Dong Pong, but I don't know. Inside, we have an actual vinyl record. Oh, cool. So you can see there's even I think it's a skateboard wheel there. Very cool with the song titles. So that's awesome. So I'm not obviously going to listen to the album on this show, but I have heard his songs in the past, and if I could compare him to anybody, it kind of changes. It's very much like an indie sort of guitar-driven sound. Really excellent guitar playing, good vocals and everything. The last thing he sent me kind of reminded me of Modest Mouse, and I've had some like Sonic Youthy kind of feel with some of the music and everything. So it's definitely more kind of like indie indie or alternative kind of guitar-driven rock stuff, but it's really cool, and you should check out at Ryan_O'Connell_music. And Ryan, thank you very much for sending this to me. Next, we have a package from a company called Good Made Better. I was contacted by them and asked if I wanted to review some products. And now this is not a huge company or anything. I should keep the slipcover for the record. And actually, one of these products is something that they're kickstarting soon. So I'm going to do a video, like a specific video about these later. So I'll have all the information about the Kickstarter and all that. But he asked me to take a look and see if there's anything I wanted. And there were quite a few cool things. But these things in particular really caught my eye. So let me show you what we've got here. More packaging. Oh, this is very weighty. This is very cool. If it is what I think it is, which I'm sure it is. More packaging. Got the box put aside. So, I'm gonna show you this last. I'll show you this first. This is the Penwell. So Good Made Better. Right there. The Penwell. This weighs a lot, and there's a reason for that. Let me see, where does this open? Don't want to break the box. Some little information here. Inside this. Ooh, look at that. So this thing is a copper Penwell. This is made of copper. Now, I've been reading a lot about the Bronze Age, and so I just thought it would be cool to have something made of copper, which is not bronze, but it's copper. So basically what this is, I thought this was really cool. I have a pen here. This is my Pilot 823 or Custom 823. What you do is you place the cap of your pen inside, and then you can have this on your desk, and then you can take your pen, write. Obviously, it needs to be a pen that doesn't need to be posted, where you don't post the cap on in order to get the length you need. This one is perfectly long for me. And then you place it back. So it's like, it fits, it has a foam insert inside, and so it'll fit all sorts of different sizes. I think they even have different size inserts that you can use. In fact, I think there's like a spare one in here. I'm not exactly sure how all that works, but I will definitely check that out. And so you can basically have this on your desk, have your capped pen inside it, pop your pen, do some writing, pop it back, because obviously you don't want to keep your fountain pen uncapped because it'll dry out. Now some people say, oh, you shouldn't have the nib down all the time. Some people say you should because it keeps the nib or the feed wet. Depends. I've never had any issue with this leaking if I have it capped down, so it's not a big deal for me. And I just think that's really cool. And it's this nice big hunk of copper. That's cool. I think they have a brass version. They have several other ones. So I'll be showing you that soon. This next one really caught my eye. I thought this was so interesting. Now, this isn't a product that is widely released yet, but it will be. It's going to be a Kickstarter thing. And obviously, again, I'll have all the information for you. This is the Book Warden. And it says, prevent book abuse, not the worst kind of abuse, but still pretty bad. Delightful wares for readers and writers, goodmadebetter.com, South Dakota, USA. So I'm not going to crack all this open or anything right now, but basically what this is a method. It's basically these two kind of felty, sort of rigid pads with these elastic bands, and you can expand this and you can place paperback books inside it and then throw it in a bag and your books don't get all bent up. And this is just such an interesting idea because obviously, well, not obviously, but I have paperback books that I bring with me to work pretty much every day. I throw them in my backpack, or actually I place them carefully in my backpack, trying to avoid them getting all bent up. And invariably the covers will get bent, which does it matter? Yeah, it kind of does matter to me. I don't like that. I like to keep them at least looking fairly fresh. So I just saw this on his site and thought, that is such a good idea. That is an issue that can be solved. And if you're traveling, you know, you could fit several books in here and you have this kind of portable bookshelf. It expands out. You can put it down. You can take books out, put them back in, keep everything nice and compact and together. I just think that's a really interesting idea. So obviously I'll be doing a full video review on the classic Penwell and the Book Warden and talk to you about, you know, all the information, show you how it works. But if you do want to check out goodmadebetter.com, you can see some of this stuff for yourself. Really cool. All right, gang, but now it is time for hashtag askstuffandthings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at SATBradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can write to me via Patreon and go right to the front of the line. You can hit that super thanks button under this video and go right to the front of the line, or you can leave comments, questions, feedback, all sorts of good stuff in the comment section of my YouTube videos. First, we have our good friend at Ryan McFadin, who has a question about Dragon Ball Z. I missed it when the show was huge back when I was in middle school. I've been a casual anime fan for a long time, with Cowboy Bebop being my favorite. I realized not having seen Dragon Ball Z is probably a major oversight. I started watching Kai last week. So far, it's not bad, but not amazing. What's your take on Dragon Ball Z? Does it deserve the hype? All right, this is a big kettle of fish, Ryan. I enjoy some anime. I'm not in any way a weeb. I'm not someone who's obsessed with anime. I like good anime. I like some anime, maybe that's not so good because it has some nostalgia for me. Dragon Ball Z, I would say, if you're interested in the Dragon Ball series at all, watch Dragon Ball, the original series that was from the 80s. Watch that, but if you're going to watch it, I think they have it on Crunchyroll. Watch it in Japanese, because in the English translation, they change a lot of the weirdest, creepiest things that they include in the actual Japanese version. So even if they don't cut out actual footage, they will change what they're saying so it doesn't seem as bizarre. The original Dragon Ball series was meant for children, and so you have to get that in your mind. Like, it's not the most, intellectually complex thing that you can watch, but it is so weird and it is genuinely funny. And if you think also that, oh, this was made for like 12-year-old boys and what are they doing? Watch the original Dragon Ball series. It's also shorter. It has less filler than Dragon Ball Z. And now I guess Dragon Ball Z Kai is the one where they kind of cut down that filler. Watch Dragon Ball first. If you enjoy Dragon Ball, then you can jump to Dragon Ball Z. But again, watch it in Japanese, because they ruin some of the funniest things in the English translation if they dub it. But with the Japanese version, even if you're subtitled, it will have just some of the bizarre innuendo and things. So definitely watch Dragon Ball first. And if you like that, go to Z. Thank you. Next, we have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. This is from @MeandarinOranges. As a non-aromatic esser, there's nothing quite like receiving a massive tin of an aromatic blend as a gift. Oh wow, fantastic. What in the hell am I supposed to do with this? Well, you will find out when you see the video about this blend. We had a lot of people who were jealous that I got this and said, oh, pearls before swine, he's not even gonna like this. Watch the I'm not gonna like this video. We had @JoeWall5315. Ugh, you got Maple Shadows as well? I can't find it anywhere. Gah! Edit. It appears that sleep has indeed been a verb for almost a millennium. So this is the person who wrote in and was saying that sleep was originally just a noun and then it became a verb just a couple decades ago. And I was like, I don't think so. It's been a verb for almost a millennium. I have no idea what source I originally found that stated otherwise, but it needs to be found and scolded with extreme prejudice. Yeah, no worries. I was pretty sure, I knew that was wrong. I didn't want to call you out too harshly, but yeah. Sleep has been a verb for a very long time. It goes back all the way to Old English and to like Old High German and things like that, or Low German, can't remember which. At Les Brady, there are also channels entirely devoted to burning sticks and our other favorite things, and they seem to survive just fine. So what's the deal with that? I added the what's the deal with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how some people get away with things and some people don't. I never seem to get away with anything on YouTube. Like if there's ever anything where I'm thinking, oh, this might be slightly questionable, and not in like a moral or content way, but just the way that YouTube does things, it will always get flagged. Just the way it is. Next, we have some feedback from Listening Party, Blondie, Parallel Lines. Like I said, those of you who watched it really seem to enjoy it. We have at Daniel 08 October 1969. Is that your birthday? I don't know if you should put that in your name. Absolute classic album. Looks like you got the vid past the YouTube overlords. In most countries, you can watch it. Is it Leopold 597? This is the internet. I can have a listening party with someone from across the globe. Yeah, and I think that's fun. At Sean Flew In 9803, just stumbled on this and just plugged in my best headphones for a damn good listen. Brilliant idea. Nice one. Thank you, Sean. At Hard Drinker 1989, this is amazing content, Bradley. I hope you keep this series going. We'll see. If people watch it, we'll keep it going. And then at Leopold 597 again, what's so awesome about Debbie's vocals to me is that she never seems like she has to try too hard, like she's not throwing herself at you. A little understated, maybe. Perfect fit for the postmodern style you mentioned. Exactly. At Malcolm MD Baker, great format, Bradley, great album to start with. Incidentally, this was the first Blondie album I bought when I was 14. I'm now 59. I was that Debbie Harry fanboy, bedroom walls covered with her posters. If I had been around back then, I would have had a huge crush on her, for sure. At John Robinson 8549, thanks Brad. I haven't listened to this album all the way through in probably 35 years. Eat to the Beat is my favorite Blondie album. That's the album after Parallel Lines. And it's a good album as well. And Auto American is underrated, but this is a great reminder of how good Parallel Lines is. I got Parallel Lines in 1981, and I never replaced the record with a CD later on, so I hadn't heard it all the way since the late 80s. I fired up Stanwell Vanilla in a Missouri Meerschaum Cobb for this. Time to reload for a second bowl and side 2. So yeah, as we mentioned in that segment we did earlier, if you want to see eclectic content, if you want to stick it to the YouTube algorithm, watch the Blondie Parallel Lines listening party. If enough of you do, I'll make more. But gang, now it is time for the very best part of the show. Oh, but thank you for that feedback. Please keep it coming in. It really helps make the show go. But now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, most of the content I post on YouTube cannot be monetized, so your support on Patreon is a huge help. It really makes it possible for me to keep doing this. And every week we like to shout out the people who support the channels, who are basically like producers of the channels. If you would like to support the show, there is a link in the description box below, and it would be much appreciated, just like Glenn Dunnington, Jason Buckner, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, Jonathon Proctor, Charles Mowers, and Friendly Piper did at the $25 tier. And of course, the Maniac tier, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month, people like stolid, dependable Bob Magee, and our good friend, Ryan McFadin. And of course, we'll never forget our dearly departed friend, award-winning author, and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Gang, I think we're getting right in under the wire. The battery's about to go out. So, I've been a good friend Bradley. This has been Stuff and Things on a Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.